7 signs your relationship is headed for a breakup. Breakups are tough. Nobody likes to go through the heartache and pain of a split. Let's face it, going through a breakup is like going through withdrawal. Love can be addictive, and when it's gone, you experience real symptoms of withdrawal. But sometimes, the writing is on the wall. You just need to open your eyes and see it. How do you know if your relationship is on the verge of collapse? Well, you need to look for the signs. Here are 7 signs that your relationship might be heading towards a breakup. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. When you first start dating, you can't wait to talk to each other. You talk for hours about everything and nothing. But as time passes, things change. The late-night phone calls become less frequent. The text messages become fewer and further between. When conversations become less frequent and meaningful, it might be a sign that your relationship is in trouble. You're not connecting like you used to. When you do talk, it feels forced and superficial, like you're just going through the motions. Let me put it this way. You used to be excited to hear your partner's voice, and now it's like nails on a chalkboard. What happened? Where did the communication break down? You have to ask yourself, is this normal or is this a sign of something more serious? When you're in a healthy relationship, you argue, yes, but you argue fairly. You don't resort to name-calling or personal attacks. You listen to each other's points of view, even if you don't agree. But when you're headed for a breakup, every little thing turns into a major blowout. You're constantly nitpicking each other, looking for reasons to fight. Why is that? Because the love and respect that was once there is gone. It's been replaced by resentment and anger. And when you have that much negative energy bottled up, it's bound to explode. You're walking on eggshells around each other, afraid to say or do the wrong thing. That's no way to live. In a healthy relationship, you feel close to your partner. You share your thoughts and feelings openly and honestly. You support each other through thick and thin. But when you're emotionally distant, you feel like you're living separate lives. You don't share your innermost thoughts and feelings anymore. You don't feel like you can rely on each other for support. It's like you're roommates, just going through the motions. There's no excitement, no passion, no spark. You used to be best friends, and now you're practically strangers. You find yourself confiding in other people more than your partner. You'd rather spend time alone than with them. Chapter 4. When you first started dating, you were inseparable. You wanted to spend every waking moment together. But as time went on, things changed. One or both of you started to lose interest in spending time together. You'd rather go out with your friends than stay in with your partner. You'd rather watch TV than talk to them. What once felt exciting and adventurous now feels boring and routine. You're no longer a priority in each other's lives. You make excuses for not seeing each other. You're always too busy, too tired, or not in the mood. Chapter 5. Avoidance. When you love someone, you can't get enough of them. You want to be around them all the time. But when you're avoiding someone, you do everything in your power to stay away from them. You screen their calls, you don't answer their texts, and you go out of your way to avoid running into them. Why? Because being around them is just too painful. It's a constant reminder of what you've lost. So, you avoid them at all costs. You make excuses for not seeing them. You say you're busy, you're tired, you don't feel well. Chapter 6. Lack of intimacy. Physical intimacy is a natural and healthy part of a romantic relationship. When you're first together, you can't keep your hands off each other, but as time goes on, the passion starts to fade. You go from being intimate every day to maybe once a week, if that. And when you do, it feels forced and routine. There's no spark, no excitement, no desire. You're just going through the motions. You start to wonder if you're even attracted to each other anymore. You make excuses for why you're not in the mood. You're tired, stressed, not feeling well. Chapter 7. Future plans don't include you. When you're in a healthy relationship, you make future plans together. You talk about your hopes and dreams for the future, and you make sure that your partner is a part of them. But when you're headed for a breakup, your future plans no longer include your partner. You start to make plans without even thinking about them. It's like they don't even exist in your future. And when they do bring up the future, you get quiet or change the subject. You don't want to talk about it because you know that they're not going to be a part of it. Outro, is it time to move on? Relationships are tough. They take work, compromise, and a whole lot of love. But sometimes, no matter how hard you try, it's just not enough. If you recognize these signs in your relationship, it might be time to have an honest conversation with your partner. Talk about what's going on and see if there's anything worth saving. Remember, it's important to prioritize your emotional well-being. If the relationship is no longer serving you, it's okay to walk away. Don't be afraid to be alone. Sometimes you need to be alone to figure out what you really want in life.